Today we will hear from several extraordinary individuals who have endured the worst forms of human exploitation and survived human trafficking. I welcome each and every one of you and thank you most sincerely for your courage, commitment, and generosity in sharing your stories of pain, suffering, and redemption.
My story happened in Ljubljana, Slovenia, where I moved in September 2004. I moved there to continue my university studies. I was alone and distant from all my friends that I had, from the world that I knew. And then I quickly found myself surrounded by strangers. One of my new friends, a girl, she said her name was Romana, offered me to stay in her apartment, since at that moment I did not know where I'm going to live. She was very kind to me and supportive, so I entirely trusted her. I was looking for a part-time job to support myself during the school year. One day, in October 2004, she came home and told me that she had organized an interview for me at an accounting firm. After that, I never saw Romana again.
म मेरो आमा बाबु बुवा खेतीबारीमा काम गर्छु कुनै अर्को रोजगार थिएन म इराकमा काम मानव तस्कर भएको मानिस हुँ
The next morning, I went to an office where I sat down for an interview with a woman. The interview had lasted about 10 minutes when two men entered the room and dragged me away to a car. I was screaming and resisting. I was taken somewhere blindfolded, then raped many times and beaten because I was resisting. I was drugged with heroin. All my things were taken and I was forced to wear sexually provocative clothes. I was forced to do prostitution in Ljubljana for about 4 months. I was repeatedly threatened in order to obey them, especially by the life and freedom of my little sister. And I was constantly reminded how easy it is for them to put her in my place.
We girls suffered more. We were distributed to rebel commanders as objects without rights and were sexually abused. We had to carry very heavy loads, cook and do other duties, including digging in the gardens in the rebel camps. I was given to a man who had 20 other abducted girls, and he was a brutal man, and I had 2 children with him.
Victims should be at the center of our response to trafficking. In my reports and in all activities I've carried out within the framework of my mandate, I have emphasized that the basis of our work should be the adoption of a victim-centered and human rights-centered approach to combat trafficking.
I was in captivity for 7 years and 10 months, and I escaped in the year 2004 when the rebels had come back to northern Uganda. I could take months talking about what I went through and what I saw. But I must be brief, so I will tell you what I think must be done to help others like me. The affected people should be given support to recover psychologically. They should be given counseling, accepting them back to the community. They should have physical support, health provision of basics like shelter and others. They should be given educational support. There should be protection, where each member state should protect its citizens, and especially the vulnerable women and children during wars and conflicts.
They need to train the police and officers and prosecutors so that they can identify and protect victims. We need to provide victims with service like the one that I received from Sanctuary for Family.
Today, we live in times where slavery is still all around us. As we move forwards, or strive to move forwards, in providing more freedom and equality and basic human rights for all, we have on the other side this horrible fact. Do we really need millions more victims in order to experience a true wake-up call? I really wonder. How many more 13-year-old girls, your daughter, my sister, our children, need to be forced into prostitution?
I don't know where I am. They've taken all that I had, smuggled in for a lucrative trade, beaten, bartered, broken in until I obey. I used to be childlike, innocent and safe, but now I'm someone else's treasure, a stranger's pleasure, smothered in shame. So come with drugs, but I'm not numb. All I feel is pain. Is this all a dream? Will I ever be the same? Can anyone hear me? Will anyone break these chains? Who will free me? I'm just a beautiful slave. My worst fear is my fate. I'm getting older each day. Every girl too old in years mysteriously just disappears. They never mention her name. They take away piece by piece. I don't think I have any left. I've slowly given up all hope, given in to this